So my thoughts on the game, well, 4-0. What can you do about that? I mean, we didn't look threatening at all the entire 90 minutes. We did not look threatening. In the second half, it only got worse, to be honest with you. I mean, sure, we had a bit more chances, but defensively, we just looked weaker, especially as they brung on pretty much a different team in the second half. It didn't look good enough. Yeah, it wasn't good enough from the squad. I think this highlights other problems. Main problems being that there's not enough in the squad. There's not enough players in the squad. We've got too many injuries right now. We've not got enough creativity in the squad. And today was just probably a prime example of that. No one looked confident going into this. I wasn't that confident going into this, sure, even though it was a friendly. But I'm still really, really not happy about the way it's gone about. Even when our substitutes came on. You would have thought maybe there would have been a bit more of an improvement. There wasn't an improvement. If anything, we conceded more when they came on. We played, I think, Bergvall. We played him as an attacking midfielder. It just didn't look. That just didn't work. It didn't work. He was getting the ball swiped off from left, right, and centre. And he didn't look like he could create any creativity. He's a midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder. Kudus, I think, had a bit of a good game today. He couldn't seem to sort of finish what he started though. He was dribbling quite nicely. He was keeping the ball up. He was bringing the ball up the pitch, which is something we need right now. We're going to need a lot more of that in the season because we're going to be missing someone like Maddison, our creative attacking midfielder. We're just going to need to look for a replacement now. It's just frustrating. It's so frustrating. I'm going to get on with my player ratings now. I'm going to start off now with Richarlison. Richarlison, he was poor today. I hardly ever saw him on the ball. He was awful all game. He just didn't turn up. Whenever he did have the ball, there was nothing sort of being converted with it. He missed a massive chance as well. It was an open header for him and he just somehow got it wide. Out of 10, I'm going to give him a 4. And that's probably being a bit generous. Mohamed Kudus. Kudus was probably the player I saw most on the ball today for Spurs. I probably saw him at the ball the most. Okay, Mohamed Kudus. He was pretty decent at dribbling today. He just didn't seem like he could really keep the ball, which was quite frustrating. And I think you can't fault him too much. There was no one in the box for him to pass to. Bayern were defensively pretty on top of everything today. They knew what they wanted. They came to do it, and they did it. Kudus though, he wasn't too bad. I'm probably going to give him a 6 out of 10 for today. Pat Sarr was alright. I'm trying to think back of any particular moments of him. I can't think of too many. He was just sort of 50-50 on the ball. He was losing them a bit. He did make quite a few good tackles. He played pretty much most of the game. He did have all of his passes were accurate, is what I'm trying to say. 14 out of 14 apparently, 100%. So that's pretty good. 28 touches. He made an accurate long ball that was accurate. Ground duel 1, duels 1, won all 3. He was fouled 3 times. He wasn't too bad. I think I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Brennan Johnson, I was looking at around half time and I was saying he probably needs to come off. There was not much in him today. He looked like he was struggling quite a bit. He played about pretty much most of the game, 64 minutes apparently. All of his passes were accurate passes, 9 out of 9. He just couldn't get that dribbling. He couldn't look like dribbling. He just didn't look fantastic. He didn't look like him last season, to be honest with you. But then he's not really a dribbler. That's the problem. He's not really a winger. He's just sort of a player who can get there in the box and sort of finish it off. That's how we sort of know him. He can finish sometimes as well. But I mean, I'm going to give Johnson, I'm going to give him a 5. He just wasn't there for today for me. João Palhinha, our debut player. João Palhinha played his first game for Spurs today, and it was probably one to forget for him. He was committing quite a couple of fouls early on. He gave away a penalty to Bayern Munich, which they didn't score, but at the end of the day, it clearly didn't matter, looking at the scoreline. But he did not have a good game, João Palhinha. He didn't have a good game. I'm getting a bit of Adrian Palhinha vibes from that. And then Kane was like, don't worry, it's alright, I'll miss for you. He tried 3 long balls, none of them were accurate. None of them made it. Only won 1 out of 3 ground duels. He was fouled once and gave away a foul. I mean, he only played till half time and I was quite thankful that he did. Rodrigo Bentancur, the next one to be read, he played most of the game. Bentancur was okay. He was sort of playing a bit more in a sort of, I think, a defensive central midfield. Not good enough. Again, I could say this with all the Spurs players today. Just not good enough. It's just too frustrating to watch. No one really had a particularly good game apart from Kudus, who I've mentioned already. He's probably the only one who sort of stuck his head out a little bit, and I only gave him a rating of what I gave him. I think it was about 6. It just wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough at all. Rodrigo Bentancur, yeah, just not good enough for me today. He's another one of them. I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 10. Just terrible. Jed Spence, I know there was an error on him. He got tackled leading to one of their goals. He was okay. I mean, I think one thing that was frustrating for me is seeing a massive gap between him and Coman. And as we know, it ended up backfiring at some point. I kept saying you've got to close that down because it's going to happen. It's going to be a goal, and it did. It did happen because Coman got through and he just fired it into the top left corner, and it was another goal for them. I could see it happening all day long. And it did happen. Spence, he was okay, but he stood there. Everyone struggled. Honestly, I'm going to give him a 4. Van de Ven. Bit unsure about Van de Ven. Van de Ven, he had some good moments this game, defensive-wise. He also had some stinkers. He's completed the most passes of anyone in the Spurs squad today, which was 57. He created a chance in the game. 3 passes into the final third. He had an accurate cross. 2 out of 5 accurate long balls, tackles 1, only really 1, 6 clearances, 3 headed clearances, 2 recoveries. Not too bad, just definitely not a day to remember. I'm going to give Van de Ven 5.5 out of 10. Moving on to Christian Romero, who played the full game. Most of his passes were given as accurate. He had 1 block, 5 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 2 interceptions, 1 recovery, but he was dribbled past once. Romero, he was a bit harsh about his whole yellow card situation. He definitely made himself known in moments. He was probably a little bit lucky not to get sent off at the end of the day. It's a bit like Van de Ven here. He made himself know. He didn't have a great game. It's not one to remember, but he didn't have necessarily a bad game. Can't blame him for too much. It was just so much going on in the box that was just a massive mess. So I think today I'm also going to give Romero a 5.5 out of 10. It's frustrating, guys. It's frustrating to do. It's depressing to do. Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro wasn't too bad today. Wasn't too bad. He was defensive-wise, he was okay. He did get dribbled past him, I think. It was like once or twice. It wasn't too bad, but you know, he had 2 blocks. He won 75% of his tackles. So 3 out of 4. It's not too bad. 2 blocks, 4 clearances, 1 recovery. Yes, he was dribbled past once. He won 6 out of 7 ground duels, 1. Aerial duels, 1. He didn't win anyway. He was fouled twice. 9 passes into the final third, which is bloody ridiculous for a right back. 4 out of 6 accurate crosses and 4 out of 7 accurate long balls. It's another one. Ironically, I feel like our attack probably had a worse game than our defence, but I'm going to give Pedro Porro also a 5.5 out of 10. Vicario, he's had a bad one. Vicario made 4 saves, but he also conceded 4. I can't really blame him for today with all the goals coming in. I think it's just been absolutely chaotic in the whole entire squad leading up to those goals. Some of them were quite poor and just not fantastic, but I'm going to give Vicario, I'm going to have to give him a 4. Just going to have to, really, aren't I? We brought on quite a few players. I'm not going to rate Gray and Basuma as they only came on for under 10 minutes to go, so I'm going to give them a miss. I'm going to give ratings to the players who joined a bit earlier, not too late. Lucas Bergville came on for the second half. Seemed like he was playing more of a cam role. It didn't fit him for me today, not at all. Absolutely not. He's a centre mid. He's not a cam. I know he's only young. He just didn't look too strong in there. I know he was only playing half of it and this is pre-season, but for me that's just not going to work out. I'm going to have to give Bergville a 5 out of 10. Continue on for Ben Davies, who came on a little bit later. He came on the 64th minute, 13 out of 15 accurate passes. There was a little bit of frustration coming out of him today from me. Even though he came on a little bit later, I noticed him quite a lot on the ball, which is a good thing. I do want to see Davies maybe making a bit more of a push this season. You know, it's his last season at the club. Try and give it all. Give it your all. Not saying he hasn't. He's been at the club for over 10 years, but you know, I'm going to have to give Davies, I'm going to go a 5 out of 10 as well. Wilson Oliver came on at the same time Ben Davies did. Oh, he really struggled coming on. All of his passes were accurate, and all 9 of them, but he was pocketed. He was pocketed when he came on. He just had no chance. Absolutely no chance. I was hoping that with Johnson coming off and him coming on, there'd be a bit of a change, but it didn't. And we were just outclassed today. We just were purely outclassed. Wilson Odobert just didn't come on with a great performance. I can't blame him too much, just wasn't good enough. I'm going to have to give him a 4.5 out of 10, sheerly for the fact that it wasn't only just, coming on bad for a bad performance, but it was really bad. It was really bad from Odobert, bless him. And finally, Matthias Tell coming on, the former Bayern Munich player, came on, one of the latest players to come in. I think it was the 71st minute. All of his passes were accurate. He actually managed to have a shot. Can you believe it? He had one accurate long ball. He was dispossessed once. He didn't win any tackles. He only won one of his ground duels. But with only 20 minutes to go, you can't blame him too much. He was probably one of the best players to have come on the pitch, to be honest, and there was only 20 minutes to go. I'm going to give Tell a 5.5 out of 10. As I said, I'm not going to rate any of the others that were Basuma and Gray. I think they were okay when they came on, but it just, it's about 7 minutes to go, can't do much.